So firstly, I just want to thank Hayter for inviting me to the press release day that they had, which obviously, if you've seen from the other videos, there was Curtis from UK Lawn Care, Dave, the lawn guy, and Jason from Jason Gardner channel. Now, we got an email, I think about in the summer, saying that they were going to be hosting an event and were we interested. And for sure, I definitely was, and I'm sure the others were as well. They didn't say who else was invited or what was going to be shown. Being Hayter, they only make lawnmowers, so it was sort of a given, hopefully in theory, that it was going to be some new mowers. They've done the 41, so logic says new 48 range and 56 range. Only thing I was slightly concerned about was that they would just do a new 48 range and then maybe a year after do the 56. They did just 41 before, so I thought, oh, are they just going to do it year by year? Because me personally, I only use 56 as opposed to the 48, and so I don't really care about the 48. So I just wanted to see a new 56 Pro, and they did. They brought out a new one, which I think quite a lot of people will be pleased about. And yeah, it was great to, as I say, it was a fantastic day. Fantastic to meet people at Hayter and be able to talk to them, and I think they do. And yeah, it was it was a great day. A little far away for all of us really, because it was all in the south of England. It was between 1 to 3 hour drive each way for all of us. I think Curtis was the closest, as he seems to be for a lot of these things, for Soltex and whatnot. It was a few miles from Hayter's factory. I think it was like 2-3 miles away. And the place where this was being held, apparently they came to visit it in the spring. So I think they knew they were going to do this day last year. They visited in the spring. It was all nice, thick, lush lawn. And the summer we had, 2 months of dry, hot weather. It was still recovering, because it was the end of September, this media day, and as you've seen on other clips, we were cutting dry, shortish grass. I did find some longer grass, but it was still quite dry. So we can't get into how great they are at bagging, because we only use it for a morning effectively. It definitely seemed nice and improved. The BBC system, I'm going to say it now, is the best engagement system on the market. So easy to use. You can still use all the handlebar when you're operating the mower. The drive is nice. It's a new drive system. It's still nice and smooth. There's no biting. There's nothing. All of them got split rollers, and they've got wider rollers, especially on the 56. I think it's about 3 centimetre wider roller, which is quite a big increase when you've still got the same size cutting surface. So in all, it's fantastic to see these new developments, and hopefully next year we'll put them to the test, and you'll see through YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, if they're doing really well or if they're doing not so really well. But as I say, it was a fantastic day. We had bacon rolls, teas, coffees, and a nice 3-course meal to top it all off. So yeah, thank you, Hayter, and say hopefully the information with the specs coming up will be handy for those interested, and I'll catch you soon. Let you know a few things that we weren't told on the press day, but we have been told since Soltex. and that is basically the weight of the new 48 and 56 Pros. Some people are interested. Now it wasn't any people specific, but you could pick up these at Soltex, and basically they've got things like the weight and la 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 la. I'll just quickly go through it. So 48 Pro is 54 kilo, and the 56 Pro is 58.5 kilo. The 41 is 42 kilo, and I think these are all dry weight. It doesn't say, not that I'm aware of. And so certainly with the 48 and 56, I would say the weight's gone up approximately 5 kilos ish, somewhere here or there, I would say. And the forward speed for all of them is 3.2 miles an hour. Now, certainly Dave, Curtis, and myself, as you probably know, have the 41 Pro, and that's extremely quick. The 48 Pro feels just as quick as that, and according to the spec, it is. The same with the 56, but that felt a bit slower. But it might be because it's a wider unit, it feels maybe that bit slower. And yeah, they've all got a 2-year warranty, commercial warranty, and yeah, so that was that. And the price, the RRP on the 48 Pro is £1,149, and on the 56 Pro it's £1,399. So just off memory, that's an increase of about 70-80 quid per machine. That doesn't seem too bad, considering hopefully you'll get a much stronger machine. The drive's been improved, it's got a BBC system, much better bag design, chute design, deck design, the blade design, the bumper, better designed bumper, glad to see that's better. Wheels are much better, stronger, better sort of grip, so wear very slowly and gradually as opposed to being a hard bit of plastic as they've been before, and just a bit more forgiving. And I think hopefully these changes will urge some of the previous Hayter customers who might have gone off to use Honda or Stiga or Weebang or whatever because of the ultimately bad bagging performance in the wets with the 48 and 56 Pro of this year, last year, from 2010 and a bit before that. And only time will tell, really. We did try the machines for about, I think realistically, it was about an hour, if that, really, because we're also trying different machines and chatting and whatnot. So, and you know, the site, it wasn't the biggest site in the world, and it was, yeah, as other people said in their videos, it was dry, fairly short grass. So yeah, it was a good taste of maybe cutting in the summer, which is fine, which all mowers should be good at, bagging dry grass. And yeah, it's just great to finally see Hayter yeah, go a new design route from the 41 Pro. They took that. That's a great design, so they've incorporated that to these new ones. They've been testing, I think, for about 4 years now, from saying, right, we need to do this. And so yeah, as I say, hopefully next year we will find out if it's any good or not. I just wanted to run by a few things with the domestic range and the pro range. So with we'll just go with the engines. So on the 48 and the 56, the cheapest model has what they call a Hayter engine, which is basically a Lonkin, however you pronounce it, engine. They are good engines. I don't know what size of engine they are. I didn't try one, but I'm sure they'll be about in dealers next year. So it's got that engine, and they all have variable speed, which I'll get to in a second. And then the next model up is a Briggs & Stratton engine, and that has the BBC system, so the blade brake clutch. And then the top end of the domestic, you've got the Briggs Instart engine. So that's where you don't have a pull cord, you have a battery, similar to what you'd have on a power drill or something like that. And you just simply charge it up and you put it on top of the engine, clips into place, and then you pull a bail arm, push a button, and away you go. I don't think that has the BBC incorporated it onto it. I may be wrong, but I'm fairly sure it doesn't. And then you have the Pros. So obviously 48 Pro's got the Honda engine, and 56 has got the Briggs & Stratton engine. And all of the domestic mowers have variable speed. So on the 48 it's still got the red T-handle up on the handlebar as before, where the 56 now has a sort of green paddle, or sort of like a lever on the drive bar. So the drive bar's like that, you've got this green bar like that, and you can incorporate the drive to your liking. It's a bit like the Toro personal pace system. So the further you push the bar down as you walk, the faster it goes. The 56 Pro also has a variable speed transmission. From what I can understand, the 56 basically has the same gearbox or same gearbox design as the Toro Timemaster. So it's a nice platform gearbox to use, because that's used on a bigger 30-inch cut mower. Weight's all similar, so it should be a good strong gearbox for that. And I think it's just the 48 Pro that doesn't have a variable speed. However, I may be wrong, but I didn't hear anyone from Hayter say that the 48 Pro you can feather the speed. There's no adjuster handle or lever on it, so I don't think that one does. And another thing that's great to see is the 56 now has the bigger bag than the 48, where previously they would both have this 48 size, which is 70 litre. Now the 56 is 80 litre, and it's all gone back to the haters of, you could get 20 years ago with the old side drive Briggs engines, which had a huge chute on them. Now they've got a small chute, and everyone's got a small chute, and they seem to think that's better than having a wide chute. I'll leave that open for debate. And yeah, those haters of old, the 48 had a smaller bag than the 56. For some reason, when they brought out the Pros in 2010, the bags were the same size. Now, I wasn't doing gardening at the time, so I had no interest whatsoever, so I have no idea why that was. And so that's sort of it, really.
So as we developed the Hayter 41, which came out of Saltex in 2016, these were coming out of Saltex in 2018, and follow a lot of the cues that the Hayter 41 brought to the market. So we've got the domestic models, domestic 48, domestic 56, and also the Pro 48 and the Pro 56. What we've done with these machines is really focus on making these the best in class for their respective categories. So best in class for collection, durability, reliability, and performance, overall performance. Starting off with the 48, we've got the Honda GCV 160 engine on the 48. We retain the split, for the 48 we now fit a split rear roller. On the current 48, but it's a single piece rear roller. So it's a split steel rear roller on the 48. On the 56 we have a split rear roller on the 56 too. We've designed a whole new differential system in the rollers. We've also introduced what we call a crank-safe BBC system. So both machines now feature BBC as standard, very much like the Honda and the vast majority of the competitors on the market. Crank-safe BBC is an adaptation of the Toro BBC system, but incorporates the Hayter friction disc. So we're able to offer the BBC system with a lifetime crankshaft guarantee. So if you hit something like a pole for a washing line or a paving slab or whatever, on where it may bend the crank, you get the warranty on this machine because the friction disc is there to design to protect the engine. The BBC system, we wanted to make it nice and easy for everyone to use. We looked at our competitors to see who had the best BBC system. And the entire BBC system is controlled by a very, very simple control up on the handlebar, which we can demonstrate outside very soon. 48 comes with a 70 litre brass bag, 56 comes with an 80 litre brass bag. We spent a lot of time developing the blade, the deck, the bag to make sure that these things perform like nothing else, to be the best in class. As we look underneath the deck, you can see the blade has been quite a radical style of design of blade.
Offensive weapon, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? It's designed like that to reduce sound, but give us as much collection performance as we possibly can have. The larger the sail on the blade, the more noise you create. Now we've got very strict noise regulations to comply with, which sometimes, or more often than not, means that the engines are slowed down to meet that noise reg. What we've done is we've designed a blade to be efficient with the airflow, but also manage the sound as well. Our engineering team drew inspiration from Airbus and Rolls-Royce, sorry, not Airbus, Boeing with the 787, where the flutes are on the blade. They're done to control the airflow and bring the airflow back together on the machine, as the blade's spinning, to reduce the sound level. So we've got the wash port feature as per the Harry 41, single point miter cut as per the Harry 41, heavy duty wheels, the front bumper, handlebar supports. The Pro 48 and Pro 56, as per the Harry 41, now come out with a 2-year professional warranty as opposed to the 1 year that we offer on the machines today.
New 48 and 56, all your high impact working area, this front wall and all the chute right up to the top where it takes the maximum amount of debris and airflow is now all aluminium, and that all used to be a plastic insert all through there. Much more robust. That has particular connotations for when used, not that it would affect you guys particularly, but for when these are used by sports clubs who have very high sand content pitches. And this is, that's another key reason for making sure this is a robust aluminium solution for that purpose. And even the 56 only, I stress, even the belt cover, which gives you access to the gearbox and the transmission belts, is an aluminium casting as well. So absolutely robust as we can make it. The 48 centimetre is more like the 41, where you have a polypropylene cover here with the ring that goes around the middle to get to your centre workings. But on the 56 we upgraded that to aluminium. What it is we don't have the red T handle which you'd use to change pulleys around. Because of the grade of gearbox that we opted to use, it's self-speed regulating anyway. It's the same gearbox that's going into this and into the one you've just been using is in that one, the twin blade. So it's the MV, it's a gearbox called the MV, and it's a hydraulic, it's a semi-hydraulic gearbox that runs on oil pressure in order to make the engagement between the two sides of the drive system. So what you can do is you can, like with that sensor speed handle works the same way. You pull the cable on the top of the gearbox, which looks like your regular sort of clutch cable, but as you pull it, it slowly introduces more oil to the system and it starts to take speed. That unit there, you can feather that, which you may not have noticed.
It's their own design, it's been around for many years. The Honda system, we found from customers that it's the easiest one to use, easiest to engage. You simply push down and press forward on the alarms. That's great and it's easy to use, but the ergonomics, the actual where you can put your hands to control the machine once you have both the drive and the BBC bail arms engaged is restricted. So we thought, okay, well, how can we make a BBC system that's easy to use and comfortable to use at the same time? So the cranksafe BBC, to engage the BBC, you obviously don't need the bail arm to start the engine, so you start the engine as you would do normally, and then to engage the blade, simply press the button in that's on the side here, pull the bail arm back, and the blade is engaged. Very simple, two-step, one-handed process to engage the blade. And I'll demonstrate the engine running. Cranksafe has also got the friction disc system built into it. We have a patent pending to Hayter at the moment. So you can see you've still got the friction disc underneath the blade there. So with the friction disc and the BBC system, we'll be marketing that as Cranksafe BBC.